So there you go, they can see the rest of the train there. They've just come off it, you can probably see from the behind what it looks like coming off there. And this is France, obviously. It's got sortie written instead, as well as exit, not instead of exit.
Drive 1.6 kilometers.
Remember, keep to the right, you British. You British niggas. You must keep to the right here in France. What do you think? You can change the loi, les lois de notre pays. Vous ne pouvez pas le changer. This is not the Middle Ages when the English kings could come over here and say what we have to do. This is la France, la belle France. Vive la Révolution. France. Oh, rather large animal just got killed on the road. Don't know what it was. Maybe one of those French raccoons that they've got. So what you can say, it is France, and you can drive at 130 on the motorway. Bienvenue en France. So.
Prepare to keep right in 300 meters.
At this point you have to move a little bit over because it's going to be a
100 meters,
turn off for going to the E15 road, the A26 as the French call it. This is actually not a toll road.
Over the speed limit.
Some nice little ponds and things around here with, I think that's a little moorhen on there. Vous roulez at 69 kilometers per hour. 69. That is very appropriate for France, that you should have been rolling at 69 kilometers per hour. En effet. So here we go. Is the guy going to get past me and let me get moved out?
In 370 meters.
And so here we are. Now we're on the road which you simply stick to this, and on it goes right the way into Belgium,
100 meters
right the way down to Brussels if you don't come off it, but I intend coming off it at Ghent in a reverse repetition of what I did coming in here. Well, I just passed 2,800 kilometers after a bit of a queue. This is 1438, so if you, it's 2804, if you stick the two together you get 2424. So effectively, rather, sorry, 2424, 4242 am I talking about. I see the numbers in my head and saying something completely different. But 4242, yeah, so 4242. That's a revised estimate of the machines taken together of what it's going to be, and of course that's almost 2/3 of the total journey. 2828 would be 2/3 of 4242. I think that's probably pretty clear to most people. And when that happens, well, we'll be in Belgium because we're very close to the Belgian border. 2/3. I mean, this is very close to the beginning of the journey back from Hemel Hempstead to Warsaw, but because I did a big bow and also the little outing to Cambridge, it means that most of the journey was done. The whole trip, the whole what I expected to be 4,400, but now looks like 4242. That got underestimated, or rather overestimated. I overestimated it, largely because the machines were counting the time in the tunnel, and because the machines haven't been counting time on forecourts or other things like that, sitting around on forecourts of tunnels or or standing in the sorts of queues that I just had, my estimate of 48 hours of being in the car during the incredible journey is probably not going to be accurate. That would probably be an underestimate rather than overestimate, because 34, nearly 35 hours now and nearly 15 to go, so that means nearly 50 hours. Probably it will be over 50 hours by the time I get into Warsaw. So expect the unexpected, that's the thing, because when you're on a long journey you never know when you're going to end up with a bit of a queue. Official coach company for the England and Wales cricket board, so they obviously come to play cricket. They've got some cricketers on board. Maybe not, doesn't have to be cricketers today, but they claim the official company for the cricketing people. Dune de Flandre, yes, we're getting into the Flanders area. This is, or Flanders area rather. This isn't Belgium yet, is it? I think we're in the last tiny bits of France, and at any minute now we will see another sign warning us that we're in Belgium. I didn't actually, coming out from Belgium to France, notice the sign at all, but surely they wouldn't go so far as to take it away completely. I'm assuming I simply was inattentive for a moment and didn't see it, which is always possible. But hopefully we'll see it going this way. Should be any time now, really, that France becomes Belgium. I've put it onto quite a big scale so that I don't need a lot of detail at the moment, because I kind of know this as well as that's going to know it, because it's a 6-year-old map anyway, and I was on top of this journey the way I'm going now. Back in the day, I've really discovered that last time I did this was in the summer of 2008, so now it's the spring of 2013, so that really was quite a long time of not driving my car to England. No wonder it feels so old. Anyway, Bataille d'On de Scholte from 1793, that's one of these old battles, and here we go, there's Belgium, 3,600 metres, it becomes Belgium. This is the last little bit of, just a small bit of France. My wife wanted me to get mustard, Amora mustard in France, but I got Grey Poupon instead, which is a very good French mustard, better than Amora anyway, and I got it in the UK because obviously it exports all over the place, so she's got the best French mustard. But I didn't really want to be breaking my journey for a half hour this early in the journey back, you know, so I got her the French mustard, but even better than she wanted, but I didn't get it in France, so I don't do everything I'm told by the looks of things. Almost autumnal colours on some of the trees because of the way the light's falling on them, but of course it's the opposite of autumn, it's spring, which is why it's surprising perhaps to see that those golden hues over there, but that's the end of a long winter. It's not so much leaves, I don't think, as in most cases, but there is quite clearly a greeniness amongst it all, where you can see leaves starting to pop out for the first time, even the ones which weren't coming out on the way there a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, popping out now on the way back. And here we go, we are now getting into Belgium. That's the very last Air de Givelde, and that's just so that Frenchies can think about it and change their mind if they want to before going into Belgium. And for those who are brave enough to continue, here it is, and it's immediately België in Flemish or Dutch, whatever you want to call it. België, they don't say Belgique for them, they're just and it's Vlaanderen, and de provincie West-Vlaanderen heet u welkom, just to undermine the fact this is no longer the French-speaking area. We just go from language to language like that. Even the road doesn't change as much as the language does, and there's no border in sight anywhere. The reason for that being that this road was constructed or finished after the Schengen Accord was in force. Therefore, there was never any, there never has been on that stretch of road any customs or border control ever on that particular stretch of road. That's why nothing is visible there of that sort. So here we are in Belgium again. I don't want to bore you with all the details all the way through the journey, and I want to save some of my battery for later too for you, in case anything comes up.